What are your thoughts on melatonin?
Melatonin is interesting. It's I think it's one of the most controversial. I don't know if controversial is the word, but misled things in the United States. So one, a lot of countries, probably most countries, melatonin is a prescription drug. It's a hormone, just like testosterone or estrogen, and all these different things.
Yeah.
The other thing is it plays big roles in the body beyond sleep. It's not just about sleep, right? So like when you're younger as a kid, you produce more melatonin. It delays the onset of puberty. It's one of the mechanisms that happens. So
Wow.
it's not something to mess around with casually. The fact that it's just in the aisles all over the place.
Got gummies for kids.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts to me when you start messing with hormones for kids.
Because you're messing with their puberty development.
I'm messing with that. I mean, it's a systemic thing that honestly, we have some idea what it does, but not a full spectrum of what's going on.
No, that's
there's a lot to learn. And the other thing with that is they did a study on U.S. melatonin supplements, and the study came back, and the dosage was from negative 85% to negative 85% to 450% of the dose listed on the bottle, meaning 85% less than listed, all the way up to 4.5 times as much listed on the bottle.
Oh my goodness.
Because there's no regulation.
No.
Wow.
So melatonin can be useful. We do recommend it. There can be uses like when you travel time zones, like if you have international meet or something, competition. And that's what it's used for. It's a circadian rhythm triggering hormone.
Yeah.
So the other thing that happens to people is they take it when they want to go to bed. Like let's say they can't sleep and it's 11 p.m. and they take melatonin. It shifts their circadian rhythm back because melatonin gradually starts getting produced earlier in the night until you fall asleep. Whereas you take it late, now it shifts your circadian rhythm later, so you could have a harder time the next night and the next night because you're shifting it with that.
Just like
Interesting.
sort of like with alcohol, you say like you get your REM sleep late.
No, like your relationship, like your hormone production of like your cortisol, your melatonin, and your relationship with like light and when you normally go to bed, like that circadian rhythm, your biological clock gets shifted later when you take that melatonin later. That's like what's signaling it. Whereas when you have the natural production, it's this nice gradual curve. Yeah. It doesn't like spike up and down. Whereas when you take it, that's the other thing is when you take a product, they found that it can spike it like well above physiological norms and then it comes back down. So anytime you're going outside of
it's just best not
it's
to.
It's not a negative. It's always good to work with a sleep doctor, and they'll have people use it. They'll have all sorts of things, but talk to obviously a medical professional, but they'll rarely have you stay on it. And it's not something to just grab. It's not like trying a new candy bar in Walgreens. Like, don't just grab a sleep supplement with a whole bunch of melatonin. The dosing can be like some of them are like 10 milligrams. Like, that's a massive dose.
Yeah.